Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. Hookagency.com.
Such a great job.
Extremely happy.
I am a salesperson that works 24/7.
We've worked with a lot of different agencies over the years, and I think we found, just like most people in this room probably, that they're extremely frustrating, really annoying. Tim and his company is just light years apart from anybody we've ever experienced.
Yo, what's up? I know this can be a very frustrating topic for a lot of people. They're trying to understand, is the SEO working? So we're going to talk through how to look at that today. There's only two things you need to figure out how to do: is to be able to at least get onto Search Console, Google Search Console. I always preach knowing how to log into things because you want to own your marketing. So Search Console is one of those things. And then if you want to use Ahrefs, Ahrefs.com, or SEMrush, those are both great ways to check the progress, check the SEO progress, see how it's going, make sure you're not paying for bullshit or snake oil. So I'm going to share my screen here and talk through Search Console first. So as we kind of mentioned, we've got this experiment up, and it is called Johnny Appleseed Tree Service. And we've done some links, and we've done some content. And we are only a couple months in, but we're starting to rank for some things. So tree service near me, tree service Eau Claire. SEO takes time, but we have to do the aggressive action, and then we have to make sure that we're starting to rank for a few things at least, right? So the first thing is, we look at this Search Console thing and we see where we're getting impressions. So this is impressions and this is clicks. Very little clicks so far, and you shouldn't expect a lot of clicks those first couple months. But this is a good early indicator that says, hey, there's some good things happening. If we just look at that, maybe it's not massive or anything like that, but we need to pay attention to these early indicators to get to those lagging indicators, right? So what it does is it shows you how many times you showed up in search results, and then how many clicks you've gotten. And you can actually go in here. This is so cool. You can click on a page and see what things what queries, what questions, what topics you're showing up for, which is crazy and cool and useful. So I strongly recommend, whether you're just starting SEO and you're following along with us on our DIY SEO playlist on YouTube, or if you're just, you have curiosity about what your website is showing up for. So look at all these different things that it's showing up for, these keywords. And this is early. I think one thing to think about is, how long should it take? How long should SEO take? And that's a really good question. I think this impressions should be going up over the next few months. We should be looking at this Search Console thing, and in the next one, I'm going to show you Ahrefs. We should be seeing keywords going up, and we should be seeing impressions going up on Search Console. So then traffic should go up. And I think impressions and keywords going up months 1 through 3, then traffic going up. I think of 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, traffic should be increasing. And I know that a lot of home service business owners will say, hey, Tim, I don't care about traffic. Yeah, I know, but this is the first step. We need to increase traffic, and then over time, leads will follow. And it's doing it the right way, right? We want to show up for city names, and we want to show up for services and things like that. But this is all part of it. And then leads is a little bit more like that. I think of that 7 months to 12 months. So I've done a lot of these experiments now, and I know that normally I wouldn't expect leads to be coming through this site months 2 or 3, which is where we're at right now. And so that's the tough part about SEO. And that's the reason why it's really, it's good to understand as a home service business owner or marketing person, the effort that's being applied to your website, not just always. I understand the tendency to be like, where are the leads, where are the leads, where are the leads? But it's good to understand what effort is being applied so that you can, if you understand SEO well enough, you can understand how this effort will lead to the result long term. And that's the difference between a good SEO company and a bad SEO company, is they should educate you a little bit on this, like what are they actually doing? And that is also why some not so good SEO agencies hide, is because they just say it takes longer and they don't show you the effort. So that's why in our service, we really try to show you all of the deliverables that are completed every month. If one important distinction, I'm talking about uptick in impressions and keywords months 1 through 3, traffic months 4 through 6, and then leads months 7 through 12. But if you're early, if your website is new, if you've never had that domain before and it just started, like in the case of what we're dealing with now with this experiment, and I'll just pull up the website in the next page so you guys, I like to have a little bit of a visual. We've got this experiment, right? We've got the Johnny Tree Service, and we put together this website, and it's, like I'm expecting that this could take at least 9 to 12 months, even for some of these early indicators. Like it could take longer because there wasn't anything ever on johnnytreeservice.com before. Now, if your site's been out there and it's had some linking and it's had some content before, it should go quicker than that. But I'm just kind of giving you, this is what I would expect on a completely new domain. So that's the tough part. And what we want to do is we want to get all this, like if you do start a new domain, my first thing is we need to get a bunch of content on it. We get a bunch of links up to it, and then we let it sit. Because essentially there's some people call it a sandbox effect that Google puts a website through. So it's trying to understand, is this a spam website or is this a real website? And so there's a little bit of an element of you have to get through that period where it's trying to figure out whether it's a spam website or not. And obviously we want to give it clues and indications that it's not by putting out good content that people actually read, right? All right. So then another way to check this, I'll throw this up on the screen, is by going to Ahrefs or SEMrush and then looking at, are there keywords ranking for it? As you can see, I can tell that Eau Claire, Wisconsin Tree Service has a volume of 90 searches a month. Usually that's a pretty low estimate. And right now we are 29th. We last time we checked, we were at 42. Or a few weeks ago, we were at 42. And now, actually 1 month ago, we were at 42 and now we're at 29. So we're making progress, which is we're up 13. Appleseed Tree Service. I don't know what this is or why this would go down, but it went down a little bit. Eau Claire Tree Removal. We went up 24 spots. So this is how you do it. You go to Ahrefs or SEMrush and you essentially say keywords, in this case, organic keywords, and you find out what keywords you have. And you can see the trajectory on the various graphs along this edge. So go over here and check it out. And as you can see, we've got a little uptick, since December when we started this experiment of the 0 keywords, and now it's up to 7 keywords. So obviously we want to see this graph going up over time. In the last 30 days, you see like it's kind of a little stationary. You'll go up and down on here, right? You're not going to like have a pure up graph. But over 6 to 12 months, it should be going it should be going up and traffic should be going up. So this is a super early check. Like I said, we're 2 months into this experiment And this is all very healthy and good, just to give you some perspective. I look at this, this should be going down, because essentially, let's say an average small business might be at 50,000 rank, or, a client of Hooks might be at 10,000 rank after a year or something like that, which essentially just means, in this case, the higher it goes, that's bad, because that's like, this is, anyways, 100,000th website. So it's like, it's nothing right now, right? Traffic value means what would we have to pay to Google to get the amount of traffic that we're getting for free. The fact that we have something here this early is good. So those are the things I want you to do and check if you're looking at your website. It might be some payment to get into Ahrefs or SEMrush. I think SEMrush has more free tools. So try both of them, but it's a small price to pay to just understand what your actual rankings are looking like, what your keywords. Over time, what we want to do is we actually want to look at the ones that are doing well, and then we're going to start doubling down on them. Now, right now, in the next few weeks, we're going to really push a bunch of content out, and we're going to get a bunch of links. But we're going to wrap up this big initial push, and then I'm going to do a few more kind of more detail-oriented things, and then kind of wrap up the initial part of this series, which is like, this is what I would do those first 3 months if I was to do just an experiment or a project's initial SEO. And literally what I would normally do on a super early website like this is actually let it sit. Below Aslam is saying, kindly tell on-page SEO. Well, that's a great idea. I will plan on making that one that's one of the videos coming up soon, on-page SEO. So we'll talk about that. What can you do in the headings and the alt tags and the different things to rank higher? What I see a lot of times, weirdly enough, is a lot of agencies, that's all they do. They do on-page SEO and they don't do the other things. Off-page SEO, which is links, and content marketing, which is getting blog posts and landing pages out there, these are crucial. And a lot of them are putting out like one blog post a month or not doing any link building. And that is not how a small business is not going to rank unless you do these things and unless you do them hard. So strongly recommend to other marketing people out there and other just small businesses. Like, these are the two main things. Once you figure out the two biggest levers, you just pull them as hard as you possibly can for these first 3 months. So we're going to wrap up that big initial push these next few weeks. And kind of that will be our first 3 month thing of SEO. And then it does take, checking back in and doing some other more technical stuff. So we will do those things, but I'm going to kind of wrap up this big initial push in the next few weeks. For this experiment that we're working on, like I said, I like to hammer links and content and then wait 6 months normally. And then I check back. I'm checking my experiments, right? I'm looking at them. For this experiment, this is an early check-in, in the first 2 or 3 months. And then we'll have something to compare this to when we do this in 6 months. Just going to check to see if I'm missing any comments here. Yeah, so it's okay that you don't have this massive upward graph, right? 2 months in, that's actually, and it would be crazy if that was possible. And there is weird ways to do that, but it's actually dangerous to go that much harder than we've been going. It's a very normal thing to have an uptick in keywords first, right? We've got like 9 keywords and we've got impressions. We got 250 or something like that. That's normal at this point. Just getting keywords and impressions going up. And then we're going to get into real traffic, right? In 6 months, we should be seeing a pretty good chunk of real traffic. But first, we got to wrap up this initial push, get content out there. And in the 2 ways that we're going to get the big initial push of content out there, we're going to create a bunch of location landing pages, and we are going to get a bunch of blog posts out. And I'm talking not just like 5, we're going to get like 25 blog posts out quick. And we're going to get out at least good 5, 10 location landing pages. So that's a big deal. And like I said, these early indicators do mean that we're on the right track. We just need to double down on content and links, and then we need time. We cannot do SEO in a vacuum, and you have to have time pass. Now, your site should be, if you're working with an SEO provider or if you're working with us, it should be going much quicker than what we've got going on, because usually we work with companies that have had their URL and their website around for a while. So we would probably go much quicker than this. But when you're working on a new site from scratch, this is normal. And I would say still the mindset of we're trying to increase impressions and keywords for the first 6 months is very normal. I think that's a good thing. It's just also we need to see that activity from our SEO company. And then we need to continue to see the activity once things start to get good. So that's another thing, is like, just because stuff is going well on SEO doesn't mean you should stop that activity. So we'll talk more about that on our next check-in as far as progress goes. But the next few videos are going to be wrapping up this big initial push of content and links that you need to be doing if you're doing DIY home services SEO, and your agency needs to be doing if they're doing it for you, right? And we need to get more traffic and impressions first, and then leads do come if those things are cranking upwards. All right, everyone, I appreciate your time, and I'll sign off with a quote from Tommy Mello: Google is God when it comes to home services. And so we shouldn't, this part is my own, we shouldn't neglect 80% of the traffic in favor of just PPC or paid ads if 80% of the clicks are going to organic search. All right, see you everyone. I hope you have an amazing afternoon. Bye.
Day one, it was just shockingly different.
They did such a great job.
Extremely happy.
I have a salesperson that works 24/7.
We've worked with a lot of different agencies over the years, and I think we found, just like most people in this room probably, that they're extremely frustrating, really annoying. Tim and his company is just light years apart from anybody we've ever experienced.
Better leads. Specialized team. Rank high on Google. Hook better leads. Hookagency.com. Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google. Hook better leads. Hookagency.com.